If you've ever felt like saving money is impossible, or that you have to make huge sacrifices just to put a little extra aside, this video is for you. Over time, I've managed to save more than $60,000 using simple but effective strategies, without feeling like I'm missing out on life. Today, I'm breaking down 26 powerful ways to keep more cash in your pocket while still enjoying the things you love. These are practical tips anyone can use, and they actually work. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more money-saving hacks. All right, let's get started. Tip 1. Pay yourself first. One of the best ways to actually start saving money is to make it the first thing you do when you get paid. Instead of paying bills, buying things, or going out first, set aside a portion for your savings immediately. A lot of people do the opposite. They spend first and try to save whatever's left at the end of the month. But let's be honest, there's usually not much left by then. When you flip that around and treat savings like a non-negotiable expense, you'll be surprised at how much you can actually put away. For example, let's say you decide to save just 10% of every paycheck before spending on anything else. If you make $3,000 a month, that's $300 straight to savings. And over a year, that's $3,600 without even thinking about it. The key here is automation. Set up an automatic transfer so that a portion of your paycheck goes directly into savings. This way, you won't even have to think about it, and you'll naturally adjust your spending to what's left. If you start making this a habit, you'll realize how much easier it is to build your savings without constantly feeling like you're restricting yourself. Tip 2. Turn your unused stuff into cash. A super easy way to make extra money without much effort is to sell the stuff you don't use anymore. Think about it. How many things do you have lying around that you never touch? Maybe it's a phone you upgraded from, a jacket you haven't worn in years, or even home decor that doesn't fit your style anymore. Instead of letting them take up space, why not turn them into cash? For example, I once sold a coffee machine I barely used and made enough to cover a week's worth of groceries. Just recently, I sold an old gaming console that had been collecting dust and put that money straight into my savings. You'd be surprised how many people are looking for secondhand deals. The key here is to make it a habit. Every so often, go through your stuff and ask yourself, have I used this in the past 6 months? Would I even notice if it was gone? Could I get some money for this instead of just letting it sit? Of course, some things might not be worth selling and are better off donated. But for anything that still has value, this is a simple, no-effort way to add to your savings without changing your daily habits. Tip 3. Use public transport or walk more. If you live in an area with public transport, using it instead of driving can save you a ton of money on gas, parking, and car maintenance. Even better, walking or biking whenever possible costs nothing and is great for your health. If you drive every day, challenge yourself to replace just one trip a week with public transport, biking, or walking. If your workplace offers commuter benefits, take advantage of them. They can lower your transportation costs. Carpool with friends or coworkers when possible to split gas costs. You don't have to give up driving entirely, but reducing car use even a little can make a noticeable difference in your budget. Tip 4. Give it a day. Before you buy, one of the easiest ways to stop impulse spending is to wait 24 hours before buying anything that isn't a necessity. We've all had those moments where we see something and think, I need this right now. But more often than not, that feeling fades pretty quickly. A good habit to build is pausing for a day before making any non-essential purchases, whether it's clothes, home decor, or random gadgets. Just give yourself some time to think. Will I actually use this? Or is it just a momentary want? Do I already have something similar? Is this really worth the money? A lot of the time, after 24 hours, you'll realize you don't even want it anymore. And if you do still want it, at least you've had time to make a more intentional decision instead of just buying on impulse. Tip 5. Cut down on convenience fees. Many people don't realize how much they're losing to unnecessary fees. A little effort can help keep more money in your pocket. Stop using ATMs that charge fees. Stick to your bank's ATMs or get cash back when making purchases. Avoid delivery fees. Cooking at home or picking up food instead of ordering delivery can save you hundreds a year. Watch out for hidden fees on subscriptions or bank accounts. Check your statements regularly and dispute charges you don't recognize. The key is awareness. Those small fees seem minor, but over time, they add up to a lot of wasted money. Tip 6. Have fun without overspending. Entertainment doesn't have to cost a fortune. There are plenty of ways to have a great time without spending too much. Many cities have websites or community boards that list free or low-cost events, so it's always worth checking what's available before splurging on expensive tickets. Next time you're planning a night out, take a moment to think, is there a way to have just as much fun without spending a lot? You might be surprised at how many affordable or even free activities are out there. A little creativity can go a long way in keeping your budget intact while still enjoying life. Tip 7. Make your own meals. One of the easiest ways to cut down on expenses is to cook at home instead of eating out all the time. Restaurant food is convenient, but you're not just paying for the meal. You're paying for the service, the overhead, and sometimes even the brand name. That adds up fast. When you make your own meals, you're only paying for the ingredients, which means you can eat the same food for a fraction of the price. It doesn't mean you have to cook every single meal, but even swapping out a few restaurant visits per week for home-cooked meals can make a huge difference in your budget. Plus, you have control over what goes into your food, so it's often healthier and fresher too. Tip 8. Set a budget and stick to it. I know you've probably heard this before, but it's one of the most important things you can do. Set a budget and actually follow it. Having a clear plan for where your money goes each month makes it so much easier to reach your financial goals. Without a budget, it's easy to overspend and wonder where all your money went. If you don't already have one, setting up a budget is simpler than you might think. Start by tracking your income and listing out all your expenses: rent, bills, groceries, savings, and even fun money. Then, allocate your money in a way that makes sense for your lifestyle while ensuring you're saving and not just spending. Once you have a budget, the key is to stick to it. It might take some discipline at first, but over time, you'll gain better control over your finances and feel less stressed about money. Tip 9. Save money by buying secondhand. One of the smartest ways to cut costs and be more eco-friendly is to buy secondhand whenever possible. You don't always need brand new clothes, furniture, or home essentials. There are plenty of great quality items available at thrift stores, online resale platforms, or even local garage sales for a fraction of the price. Another great option is to get creative with what you already own. Instead of throwing things out, try repurposing or upcycling them. Old furniture can be refinished, clothes can be altered or restyled, and plenty of everyday items can be given a second life with a little effort. So before rushing to buy something new, consider looking for a secondhand option or seeing if you can refresh what you already have. It's a simple way to save money and reduce waste at the same time. Tip 10. Cancel subscriptions you don't use. Subscriptions can be convenient, but they can also quietly drain your wallet if you're not paying attention. Many people sign up for streaming services, memberships, or apps, and then forget about them, letting money slip away every month. Take a few minutes to review what you're subscribed to and be honest with yourself. Are you actually using it enough to justify the cost? If you barely remember signing up or haven't used it in months, it's probably time to cancel. Cutting out unused subscriptions is an easy way to save money without changing your lifestyle. Tip 11. Stick to one. A simple but effective way to save money and cut down on waste is to own just one of certain things instead of constantly buying extras. This applies to clothes, skincare, kitchen tools, and everyday essentials. The more duplicates you have, the easier it is to forget what you own. Let things go unused, or replace them before they're actually worn out. Instead of stocking up on different variations of the same thing, focus on using what you already have before buying more. For example, finish a bottle of lotion before opening a new one, or wear out a pair of shoes before getting another similar pair. This way, you're not only getting your money's worth, but also avoiding unnecessary spending. Being mindful about what you own helps you stay organized, free up space, and keep more money in your pocket without feeling like you're missing out. Tip 12. Make extra money on the side. If you want to save more money, one of the best ways is to find an extra way to earn. It doesn't have to be a full-time job, just something that brings in a little extra cash. Think about what you're good at or what you enjoy doing. Maybe you have a talent for photography, art, or writing. Maybe you're great with computers or enjoy fixing things. There are plenty of ways to turn skills or hobbies into a source of income. Even a small side gig can make a big difference when it comes to building your savings. Tip 13. Think twice before upgrading. A lot of people feel the need to upgrade their phone, laptop, or even car the moment a new model comes out. But if what you have is still working just fine, is it really worth spending all that money? Sure, upgrading makes sense when your device is slowing down or no longer meets your needs. But constantly buying the latest version just for the sake of it? That's an easy way to waste money, especially since electronics lose value so fast. Holding off on unnecessary upgrades can save you a lot in the long run. Tip 14. Do you really need that extra expense? Sometimes we hold on to things we don't actually need, whether it's an extra car, a second phone, or even a gym membership we barely use. Cutting back on these unnecessary expenses can save a lot of money in the long run. For example, if you have multiple streaming services but only watch one, do you really need to keep them all? Or if you own gadgets that rarely get used, selling them could put extra cash in your pocket while reducing clutter. Taking a step back and evaluating what you truly need can make a huge difference in your budget. Tip 15. Choose quality over quantity. Whether you're buying something brand new or secondhand, it's always worth considering the quality. Cheaper, low-quality items might seem like a good deal at first, but they wear out quickly, forcing you to replace them more often. Spending a little more on well-made, durable products means they'll last longer, saving you money in the long run. Instead of constantly repurchasing the same things, invest in items that can stay with you for years. Tip 16. Be smart about where you shop. Not all grocery stores are priced the same. Some are budget-friendly, while others charge a premium for the same items. If your main goal is to save as much money as possible, shopping at discount stores can make a big difference. But if you're looking for a balance between cost and quality, try finding a middle ground. You don't have to go for the cheapest option every time, but being mindful of where you shop can help you cut costs without sacrificing good food. Tip 17. Cut back on alcohol. Alcohol can be pricey, and let's be honest, it's not exactly a necessity. Whether you're grabbing drinks at a bar or stocking up at home, those costs add up fast. A simple way to save money is to limit how often you buy it. Instead of making alcohol a regular expense, save it for special occasions or as an occasional treat. Cutting back, even just a little, can help you keep more money in your pocket each month. Tip 18. Stick to a shopping list. Going to the store without a list is a quick way to spend more than you planned. It's easy to walk down the aisles, grab things that look good in the moment, and end up with a bunch of stuff you don't really need. A simple way to avoid this is to always make a shopping list and stick to it. It helps you stay focused, avoid impulse purchases, and only buy what you actually need. Not only does this save money, but it also prevents food from going to waste. Tip 19. Stay out of debt and take control of your finances. One of the smartest financial decisions you can make is to avoid unnecessary debt. Borrowing money might seem like an easy solution at the moment, but in the long run, it can become a major burden. High interest payments and monthly bills can quickly eat away at your income, making it harder to save and invest in things that truly matter. By choosing to live within your means and only spending what you can afford, you give yourself more financial freedom. It allows you to put more money towards savings, invest in your future, and avoid the stress that comes with being in debt. The less you owe, the more control you have over your financial life. Tip 20. Boost your income. If you're serious about saving more money, cutting expenses alone won't always be enough. Sometimes you need to bring in more cash. Ask yourself, am I getting paid what I'm worth? Many people stick to the same paycheck for years without asking for a raise, even when they deserve one. But even a small bump in your income, just a couple of extra dollars per hour, can add up to thousands per year. And if a raise isn't on the table, find other ways to make extra money, whether it's freelancing, picking up extra hours, or turning a skill into a side hustle. Increasing your income gives you more room to save without feeling like you're constantly cutting back. Tip 21. Cut back on coffee shop visits. Grabbing a coffee from your favorite cafe might seem like a small expense, but it adds up fast. If you stop by a coffee shop regularly, take a moment to figure out how much you're actually spending each month. It might surprise you. Instead of cutting it out completely, try reducing how often you go. Maybe instead of multiple times a week, you only treat yourself a couple of times a month. It's a simple change, but over time, it can save you a lot while still letting you enjoy your favorite drinks. Tip 22. Borrow instead of buying. Not everything needs to be bought. Sometimes, borrowing is the smarter choice. Before you buy something you'll only use once or twice, check if you can rent or borrow it instead. Need tools for a home project? Many hardware stores rent out equipment, and some neighborhoods even have tool-sharing programs. Want to read a book? Check your local library instead of buying new. Many libraries also offer free audiobooks and ebooks. Going to an event? Instead of buying a dress or suit, try renting one online for a fraction of the cost. Borrowing instead of buying saves money and helps reduce clutter in your home. Tip 23. Keep track of your spending. A lot of the time, we think we know where our money is going, but when we actually look at the numbers, it can be a real eye-opener. It's easy to underestimate how much we're spending in certain areas, and those little purchases add up fast. By tracking your spending, you can see exactly where your money is going. This makes it easier to spot areas where you might be overspending and make adjustments. Even small changes can free up extra cash and help you stay on top of your finances. Tip 4. Smart ways to save utilities. This is a simple habit that can make a big difference. Just be mindful of how you use electricity, water, and other utilities. Leaving a room, turn off the lights. Done using the AC, switch it off. Washing your hands or vegetables. Don't let the water run unnecessarily. These small actions not only lower your bills, but also help conserve natural resources. If you haven't really paid attention to this before, now's a great time to start. A few small changes in your daily routine can lead to significant savings with minimal effort. Tip 25. Avoid paying full price. One simple rule: never pay full price if you don't have to. There are plenty of ways to get the things you need at a discount if you take a little extra time to look. Use browser extensions like Honey or Rakuten to find automatic coupon codes when shopping online. Wait for major sales like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or end-of-season clearance events before making big purchases. Don't be afraid to ask for a discount. Many stores, especially local businesses, will offer one if you just ask. With a little patience and strategy, you can save hundreds a year just by being smart about when and how you buy things. Tip 26. Master the 30-day rule for big purchases. Impulse spending is one of the easiest ways to lose money, especially on big-ticket items. A great habit to build is the 30-day rule. Before buying anything expensive, wait 30 days to see if you still want or need it. After 30 days, ask yourself, do I still want this, or was it just a temporary urge? If you still want it and can afford it without going into debt, go ahead and buy it. But most of the time, you'll realize you don't need it anymore, saving you a ton of money in the long run. This simple trick eliminates buyer's remorse and helps you spend intentionally instead of impulsively. That's it. Ways to save money, and these strategies have helped cut costs by thousands over time. The good news? You can do this too. Saving money isn't about making huge sacrifices. It's about being intentional with how you spend. It takes commitment. It takes smart choices. But it's 100% possible. Now, I challenge you to pick just one of these tips and start applying it today. Small changes add up, and the sooner you start, the more you'll save. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and let me know in the comments which tip you're going to try first. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.